Hello everybody and welcome to Vanity Hair, the latest and the greatest in FUE hair transplantation. Today, as promised in my previous video, I'm going to be giving you a little bit of an FAQ/Q&A session. A lot of you have asked some quite interesting questions in the comments, which I'm hoping to directly answer, but then there's also been a lot of questions that have been popping up regularly in other questions and comment sections. So I thought, put together another little short video before my 5-month milestone one, get to answer all of these, and then hopefully that will cover everything for the foreseeable future. So question number one, and this is the question that everybody's been asking me since day one. So how much did the surgery cost? £1,000. You're not going to find it for that amount because this was a special offer that was exclusive in March 2020. At the start of the coronavirus pandemic. However, with the same surgery that performed my hair transplant, it's currently £1,350. This includes obviously the transplantation. It's not based on the number of grafts. A lot of surgeries will offer you, say, £2,000 for 2,000 grafts or whatever. The surgery that I've gone ahead with, they do a max graft transplantation. So that means they give you about 8 hours on the table and they extract as many follicles as they possibly can. So that's, I'd say, is a pretty fair deal. What's also included is a 5-star hotel. For those of you that have been to Istanbul and have been to a Holiday Inn before, I'm not going to rave about it. It's not a 5-star hotel by anyone's standards, but it's a hotel. You don't spend much time there. It's got a shower, it's got a bed, it's got a TV. Like, as mentioned in my previous videos, the actual reception of the hotel was like a zombie apocalypse. That's where all the British tourists with bandages and scabs and everyone, was hanging out post-surgery, doped up on Xanax. So it's quite entertaining, being in a hotel with people that are going through the same sort of trauma as you are. So I suppose that sort of makes up for the quality of the actual room. The transfer from the airport is also included. What's not included is the actual flight. And what's not included is the visa. Obviously, it's in Turkey. If you're a UK citizen, you can go to Turkey and not need a visa. For people coming from other countries, I don't know what sort of diplomatic relations your country is going to have with Turkey, look it up. Now, there's been a reason I haven't mentioned the name of the surgery, and that's because I'm on their referral scheme. So if you want to find out more, do email me on my email address. It's found in the description below the video, obviously. And if you do get a consultation through me and you do sign up, then I get a £100 Amazon voucher. So yeah, go ahead and ask me and I'll refer you for a free, no obligation consultation. Number two, and this is also a valid one, and I've actually gone back through my videos and I've noticed I've never actually talked about this, the donor area. What does it look like? So I'm going to turn around and I'm going to show it off. Hang on, how am I going to get close? I'm just going to... Right. Sure what you can see. I'm going to include a picture. Hopefully that will sum up the state of things. I always strive for professionalism in these videos, so I'll include some pictures and some close-ups as well. But the donor area itself, the skin for the first month after the surgery felt really firm, really sore, really itchy. And this is obviously what you're going to have to go through yourself if you go for an FUE hair transplant. They take the hair from the back, they put it on the top. So I'd say the donor area suffers just as much as the recipient area, which obviously means there's going to be itchiness, there's going to be soreness. But, I'm now almost 5 months into it and you can't really tell where the hair's been taken from. Okay, I'm going to admit the hair is a bit thinner around here. Or thinner than it used to be anyway. But, I'd rather have it on the top than at the back. Right, question number 3, and this is from an actual user. Why pay €10,000 for hair transplant, don't take Finasteride and lose your remaining hair? What is the point? For the last time, it didn't cost €10,000 or pounds or dollars or whatever, it cost 1,000. But, valid question. Why not Finasteride? Why not minoxidil? And I've been through this before in one of my videos as well, but I'd like to reiterate my take on Finasteride. And this means no offense to anyone that does use Finasteride. I admit and I appreciate that there's a lot of solutions out there and a lot of different approaches to regaining your hair. My concern about Finasteride is is that it's for life. So, you know, I take it for 2-3 years. Yes, okay, I make some hair recovery, it all looks great, everyone's happy. And then I stop taking it and then it falls out. You know, with pills that control your hormones, that's always going to be the case. Just like a birth pill, all right, you can take it and shag whoever without a condom, you don't get pregnant. But as soon as you come off it, you're back to being fertile. And this might have been an absolutely awful analogy, but it's the same with hair. You know, you take it, you grow your hair, you come off it, you lose your hair. And that's why I don't take Finasteride. What I do take is biotin, you know, food supplements like vitamin D, iron, I think folic acid as well is pretty good for hair growth. And to be fair, I'm not even sure that makes any difference, but I take it nonetheless, just because your body needs that anyway. But okay, you know, I might actually still lose the rest of my hair, but that's something that will happen whether I take Finasteride or not. I'll just be dragging it out. So that's my take on that. Right, so question number 4, and this is quite a long comment here, but from what I can see in there, there's a question about why Istanbul and why not the UK. Now, in a nutshell, money. Istanbul is a lot cheaper than the UK, as I'm sure you all know. This doesn't mean, however, that you should just be rushing off to Istanbul to get your hair transplant. Make sure to do your research. Don't just look up a company's Trustpilot, because anyone can leave a fake review on there. Make sure to check out the Instagram page. Make sure to check out the YouTube videos, the testimonials. For me, A, the money is cheaper to get it done in Istanbul. B, I've had a friend who's actually went to the surgery that I went to, so he recommended it to me, so I went there quite confident that it's going to be a proper, you know, hair transplantation, not some botched thing done by a taxi driver. And C, I quite like traveling. Istanbul is a great city. I always wanted to go, and I'm really glad I did. So, you know, go out there, get your hair transplant done, go down to the bazaar, get yourself some fake pair of trainers, get some kebabs. Really friendly people, really beautiful city. Honestly, it's absolutely worth it. There's been no real language barrier issues. So from the first consultation to the actual moment where somebody was slicing my head open in the actual theatre, there's not been a moment where I didn't feel confident that the people I'm talking to know what I'm after and know what they need to do. So that's why I've picked Istanbul over the UK, where you can go to Mayfair and pay £10,000 and end up with the same results. Right, question number 5. Are the results permanent? Okay, so as I'm sure you're all aware, I'm month number 5 into the whole process at the moment. It's going to be another 7 months at least before we see the final results, but are they permanent? Yeah, I think they are. I've been told they are, I've read they are. But let's just go into the science behind the whole thing. So here's a diagram of male pattern baldness, and here's obviously the back of my head and where they've taken the follicles from. So as you can see, the little curve of where your crown balds out to and where the hair's been taken from me don't actually meet. So all the hair, all the follicles, all the grafts that have been taken from the back of my head are from an area that's typically not affected by male pattern baldness. So what does that mean? That means that hair from this area in the back of my head is never going to fall out. It's resistant to, I think, DHT, the hormone that creates male pattern baldness. So it's as simple as take it from the back, put it on the top, and its follicles are resistant to falling out. So by that logic, yeah, whatever grafts are transplanted to the top are going to be there permanently. Now, this is what the top of my head looks like, and I'll get onto the crown in a minute. And I think up until this point is where they did the transplant. So by that logic, minus the bit of existing hair that I've had there before the transplant that might fall out, I should have all of this for the rest of my life. So yeah, it is permanent unless I end up in some nuclear holocaust where, you know, Chernobyl explodes next to me and all my hair falls out. I don't know. Okay, I forget what question we're on now, but I'm going to wrap it all up. There's 2 more I wanted to discuss. Am I going to get a second transplant? Yeah, probably. I mean, look at the discrepancy between where the transplant has been done and where it hasn't. This is what I asked for. I wanted all the thickness to go in the front because that's where you see me from when I'm walking down the road, when you're looking at me face to face, whatever. What I didn't think is that there'd be such a stark difference between my existing, you know, crown and what they've actually put on top. but there is. So I'm more than likely going to go back for another second top up, and then hopefully that will be that. And then last but not least, I've had a user asking how long before I could wear a baseball cap, and this, I thought I'd point out because it was a concern of mine at the time as well, because I do like baseball caps, and you do actually have to cover your head in direct sunlight after the transplant for like the first, what was it, like a month or so, they said. Who knows, they just make these things up, but I went by what they've told me to do anyway. So yeah, this goes back to the whole healing process of the scabs on the top and the donor area. All the scabs will be gone by the second week, but I wouldn't recommend wearing a baseball cap. If you insist on having to wear one, make sure it's loose, make sure it doesn't rub on your scalp. It's not because I'm concerned that the hair might fall out or whatever, but because it's just really uncomfortable, and you want to let your hair and your head breathe. It speeds up the healing process significantly. You don't want to be sweating under a baseball cap either. So if you do have to wear a cap, wear it loose and don't wear it for long. And that's it for me for today. That was the quick FAQ/Q&A. Thank you for all the questions, all the comments, all the views. You guys have been making my lockdown completely bearable, I dare to say. Now, next week is going to be the big 5-month milestone. Maybe I'll have something more to talk about, but at the moment, that's all I've got to say. I mean, look, the results speak for themselves. It's looking good. It's looking groovy. I'll catch you next week. Oh yeah, by the way, if you're all wondering, I did cut my own hair. Not my proudest achievement, but just in case you're all judging, it's a home haircut. Yeah, cool.